Now, about 6 years ago, I made a video about some surprisingly good smart tech and stuff that I've been using in the garden ever since. But it has been 6 years and shit has come along quite a long way in that time. And I thought I might show you guys about some of the really cool stuff that I can actually do now and make things do with other stuff. Back then, it was basically based around that weather station, yay there, which has been working pretty much flawlessly for the last 6 years. They did actually send me a review, the next upgraded one to review, but I didn't like it. I like the old one. The old one was great, still going from now, and that's the one I would actually recommend. I'll leave a link down below for it, and that thing has been working fantastically. But yeah, like I said, it's been 6 years. That one's been working great, but shit's gotten better. Shit has gotten so much better over that time, and being able to get one thing to talk to one other thing to make something else do something else is fantastic. For example, I've got the automatic watering thing that I've got, which basically keeps all my lawns nice and green and does all that sort of stuff. But you had to go into that app to make that app to do that, and she's gotten better. So I'm going to show you what I've got, and hold on, before I do that, tomatoes. These are growing so nice, and my kid is not pulling them all off, which is a miracle. But anyway, I'll get back to what I was doing. I'm going to show you guys what I've got actually happening and some of the cool stuff that I can make one thing do with one other thing, and it's so cool. Now, my automatic watering system I got is great, but one of the problems it does have is that it guesses. And sometimes the guesses are good, sometimes the guesses are horrible, because it kind of guesses how much water there currently is in the soil, going by how hot the day is, how last time it rained, and your soil type, and it's good. Lawn is green. I haven't had to touch it. But for pots, it has been really shit. It doesn't know when the pots are, so you're kind of guessing and randomly going. But one of the cool things I actually found is this guy, which is a Zigbee automatic watering. Well, this senses how much water there actually is inside of this pot. And sensing how much water there is inside of a pot is really, really annoying. It depends on the size of the pot. It depends on what's currently in the pot. It depends on how hot the day is, how much wind has been coming through. So getting this to actually work has been mind-blowingly good. And what I get this one to actually do is when it senses that the moisture level is below about 30%, it sends a text to my wife saying, "Water me, I need water." And makes her water it, which is fantastic. She's not too happy about me sending her jobs to do via text, but it's a lifesaver. It keeps these things moist, it keeps them going really, really well, and it's pretty much set up and forget, apart from my wife who gets the texts, but it works great. And I'm going to show you guys how this actually works and how I implement that, and similar sort of stuff inside of here, because with the weather station, works great, but being able to make that weather station talk to other things, to do other things, is even better. So I'm going to go show you what I like to call Home Assistant, or what pretty much everybody calls Home Assistant. YouTube has some very different ideas about very different corners of the internet. So some people probably know all about this, some people probably know nothing about it, and I've gone very dark. It's going to change in a sec. So we're inside my house at the moment, and we are going to go to Home Assistant. Well, this is a little tablet that I currently have on the wall. I'm going to flip you around. So this is a little tablet that I built into the wall. Kind of like it. It comes out really cool, and it shows a snapshot of some little puppy all dressed up. You tap it, and it shows us a whole lot of really cool things about what's actually happening and where we are and all that sort of cool stuff. But one of the things I like to do with it is it's kitchen. Kind of dull. Turns that on. I want it brighter. Lounge room. We have light now. I want to turn on the Christmas tree. Christmas tree turns on. I want more lights. And pretty much everything that goes through different apps comes onto here, and it makes it work great. But being able to make the weather station make something else do something else is fantastic. So for example, when it gets over 38 degrees out here, I'm going to make it automatically tap that, and then the blinds shut. But how do we automate that? How do we make that actually work? Is really, really fascinating, and I'm going to show you guys a little bit of behind the scenes about how to make one thing talk to one other thing, and it's really, really cool. Alright, so I'm probably going to have my little head here as a little thing, but this is Home Assistant as it's currently set up on the computer. So it's got a desktop mode, and you can do all this with your phone and all that sort of cool stuff, but so let's go into it and let's set it up so that when the temperature gets over a certain point, it's going to automatically shut those blinds. This is just an example. There's so many different things you can do and so many different other things that you can do. But let's go into here and we are going to create an automation. So this is Home Assistant. It's a free software and it is fantastic to use. So this is a weather station that's currently sitting outside, and when this gets over, let's say 38 degrees, so when the temperature is above 38 degrees, we are going to come down here and then go to actions. We are going to call service, blinds. I think it's under chain. No, it's under switch. Switch, turn on. And we gotta find the entity, which I think is under chain. Not chain. Blinds. Alright, so what I've basically set up is when this is over 38 degrees, it's going to automatically shut these ones. It's going to press a button and save. So blind shut. And that is basically it. The whole thing's set up, and now that's basically going to work. I've set it up, and I do not need to think about it. And for example, the Zigbee sensor that's currently sitting in there. Let's jump into there, and I'll show you what it's currently sitting at. So, moisture sensor. I've also got a thing there that will tell me when the battery is going low on it. So it's going to send me an alert when the battery is running a little bit low, and that is a lemon tree. Lemon tree's temperature, lemon tree, store your moisture. And currently it is sitting at 100% moisture. It was raining yesterday, so completely normal. I don't need to think about it, I don't need to touch it, and it lets me know when it's running low, so I don't need to do a thing, which I think is fantastic. So this also opens up a hell of a lot of other possibilities. Since we've got the moisture sensor out there, since we've got the weather station out there, we can make it tell us when the moisture is running too low. When it starts raining. If it was raining, you can automatically open, shut a blind. If it's really, really windy, you can automatically shut another window. You can make lights turn on when it gets too dark outside, so it senses how much light is outside. So if the sun's going down, it can automatically tell us this. If the UV rating's too high, I've got it set to automatically send me a notification on my phone, say to put sunscreen on if I'm outside, and just so many really cool things like that. And I think that's fantastic. So I'm going to keep this a short one and shut it down, that sort of stuff. But yeah, if you guys got any questions, then ask me down below and I'll do my best to answer. But yeah, have a good one, and I'll see you guys next time.